Hi guys, my name is Savannah with Live Bay Lash. I've been with the company for about 4 years now. This channel is dedicated to all things lashes and beauty. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below. In today's video, we're going to be going over lash allergies. I personally have lash allergies, so I wanted to go over a few things that help my clients that are a little bit on the sensitive side. So the first lash allergy that I want to go over is going to be a chemical burn. This is super common in the lash industry with fumes. So with different adhesives, sometimes the fumes are going to be a little bit stronger. So when you do have a client in your chair, if they are more on the sensitive side, I always like to recommend a sensitive adhesive. We have a 3 ml sensitive adhesive here at Live Bay. I like it because it doesn't contain carbon black. Carbon black is the main ingredient that usually really irritates eyes and sometimes causes a little bit of a reaction for certain clients. So you'll know if your client has a chemical burn after the service. If their eyes are super bloodshot or red, you just want to advise that it is completely normal. It's just from the fumes of the adhesive, and usually with a day or two, it usually does go away. Let's say that your client does leave and a few days later their eyes still a little bit red or irritated. You can advise them to go to a pharmacist and see if there's something that will kind of help their eye in the meantime, just till the soreness goes away. It is sometimes normal with fumes or an iPad or tape riding up that you do get a little bit of a sore eye. I've had it before too. You have to be super careful with placement when it comes to iPads and tape, just because sometimes if it rides up into the eye, depending if the client's moving a lot or if they're talking, it'll go ahead and touch the eyeball, and that's when the eye gets super red and irritated and becomes a little bit sore. So let's say that you do have a client that comes in your chair and sometimes the iPads ride up or they become a little bit itchy and irritated on the client's eyes. You can use a blue medical tape. We sell this here at Live Bay and it's my all-time favorite. I personally like to use it to tape up the lashes because it's so sensitive, but it is a medical grade tape. So with that being said, you don't even have to use iPads. You can actually just use this tape just to tape down those bottom lashes so there's no irritation. Another reaction I've definitely seen with my clients is sometimes primers are a little bit too strong for certain clients. With primers, they usually do contain alcohol, and sometimes alcohol can be a little bit irritating depending on the client if they are a little bit more on the sensitive side. Primer is awesome for clients that do have oilier skin, just because it's going to go ahead and get rid of those oils with the alcohol. However, if you do have a client that is a little bit more sensitive, I always recommend using a saline solution. This primes just as well. It doesn't contain alcohol, so it's going to be more sensitive for your client. I personally like to use this on most of my clients if I can avoid just an alcohol-based primer, just because it is used for contact solution for clients that do wear contacts, so it is super sensitive for the eye. If I'm using a sensitive glue on my client, I like to seal it at the end with a bonder. The reasoning I like to use bonder is it seals in all the fumes and increases the retention. So with this being said, when your client is maybe burning a little bit after the service, if you just apply a little bit of this with a microfiber swab at the bases of the extensions, it's super awesome because it completely gets rid of the fumes instantly. So there are different allergies when it comes to lash extensions. There's small little irritants that may be just the iPad riding up or just a slight irritation to the glue, and there's complete allergic reactions. I personally am really allergic to lash extensions, and I knew this just because what will happen is usually you either get a super swollen eyelid, it starts to get super red and swells. And another thing that you can tell if someone were to be allergic was their eye would get super crusty. It almost looks like eczema or psoriasis, but it usually will be underneath the eye or on top of the eye. So allergic reactions can be something that just are formed over time. You can have lashes for years, and sometimes, unfortunately, allergies just change and you can develop a reaction. Something I would recommend is if you are used to using any normal adhesive that contains carbon black, you can always try a clear adhesive or do a patch test before you ever even get the lash extensions, because everywhere does use a different adhesive. So with that being said, here at Live Bay, at our salons, we like to do patch tests on each client just before they get a full set, just because you are investing a lot of money into it and you don't know if you're going to be allergic if it's your first time. So with that being said, what we'll do is we'll do one eye with just iPad and normal paper tape and normal adhesive. We usually just put a few classics on, probably like 5 or 6 that are the natural lash length, so it's not too obvious. And then on the other eye, we'll do all sensitive products. So we'll use our medical tape, our clear adhesive, and the same lash extensions. You just put a few on, and usually reactions will develop within 24 to 48 hours. We do have a video on patch tests. You can actually check that out above. The link will be above for you. If you do have a client that is in your chair and let's say that they do have a slight irritation, their eye swelled a little bit, you want to be very careful when it comes to removals. If their eye's super swelled or it's super flaky, you want to be very careful when it comes to removals. If you do decide to do a removal and you feel it's safe and their eye isn't too swelled, you definitely want to go with a cream remover. So I always like this cream remover. The reason you want to go with cream remover over gel is because it's going to be a lot more sensitive. So with new clients always coming in our chair, we do want to take into consideration that the eyes are a very sensitive part of the body. So always try to do a patch test if you've never had the client before. The last thing you'd want is them to come in your chair and you do a full, really pretty set on them and they pay a lot of money and unfortunately they get an allergic reaction. So there's a lot of precautions you can take as a lash artist that will help you in the end. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you found value in it. A question for you is, what sensitive products do you like to use for your clients? Leave your answers in the comments below and we'll see you in the next video.